Starting on this one here, Phosphote, nature at its best. First one is colour, and that one camouflage. I put something similar to this on before, but I don't think it was this one. I've seen them two before, and in mate. They look like leaves, and that one a flower. But it's love it. Nature, Boston. Hold on, Jack. The city council is on his way. Obviously, I've nicked that one and all. Right, from last week, if you remember, I mentioned my peach, and somebody asked about pollination. Although it is self-pollinated. If I'm walking past, I tap it. And then John Murphy replied when it's in the zoo regarding the peach tree. Jeffrey asked, I use a paintbrush to assist pollination. Your lemons are doing well. I have a spray now. So yeah. So you're just helping it out even more. So yeah, paintbrush. Emailed our mate 3 months ago about the composting methods. Still no reply. Don't expect one. Right, just a bit on compost. This is in the kitchen, so that saves the tea bags. Them are drying out. When they're dry, I can empty it. So that kitchen roll, which is a sheet under there, that's got all the tea on it as well. So when I come to do my shredding of my carbon, my paper, nothing glossiness and coloured, I shred them along with them. My paper from the paperback books is not right up to the edge because of the glue on it. I don't want to give me worms gut egg and just shred them. Kitchen rolls, loo rolls, another good one. The smaller the ingredient, the quicker the breakdown. And all I'm adding to that is ripped up egg boxes, which I'm ripping up on a night, and my tea leaves. Perfect. Right, this is my donkey muck from my talk in North Wales last week. They couldn't sort me out with any sheep muck or seaweed, but donkey muck was perfect for me because I've never had it before. So that was a good one. So all I'm doing here is getting a double handful out, and I'm just rubbing it out by hand. Then that lot will go in that empty bag, as I've done there, and I'll go all the way through it until I've done the lot. I'm rubbing it out by hand because if there's any crap in, which there is there, obviously I don't want that to go in. Plus I'm breaking this down even better. Have a quick nose first, see if there are any worms in. I don't want to upset them. But in the end I got a good brew. Right, I've got some more charge for beetle dung delivered. This comes from mate Gareth Hopcroft, who lives in Sheffield. He's got his own little website and whatever. This is my Cape Gooseberry. This is one obviously been left out over winter. It shouldn't have been, but it was just a trial, just to see if he would. Because he's got a bit of protection behind him, and obviously he's got a good mulch on him. But I've snapped him, but he's not snapping clean, if that makes sense. But I mean, he's coming out anyway because I've got a new variety to do it. But it was just a trial to see what I can get away with. Right, these two climbers, there's one there, and there's one there. Now that had a bit of a disturbance when I did the wall in between, well, Christmas and February. They did have a bit of disturbance, but I'm hoping I ain't lost them. But just to help them out, I'll get them a liquid feed of fish, just to give them a pick me up. There's t'other. Also did me 2 grapevines. There's one there going outside, another one there going outside. So I'll give them a quick feed as well. I think this was a Jeffrey. Was this on your post? Jeffrey's blog. I think it was. Or I think it's from a raised bed group. Or 8 different ways you could do raised beds. What nice, huh? And that was Steve Medicate from Brum. He bunged that on. Well, he get him. I think he sent him in last week. Nice little coleus. Nice colour on him. Right, raised beds. I've got to prepare these for me bladders. I've got 3 raised beds, obviously the biggest one, which is this one, right in the middle. So the cover comes off weed suppressant from Wilco. What I've got to do is collect all this straw, this top dressing. So I'm going to use that later on. Then my seaweed meal and my bone meal. Let's re-white it. Anything that's seaweed based, love it. And organic bone meal. Anything, any fertiliser that's not so organic, if it's in a tunnel or greenhouse or something, at the end of the season, that's when they do a soil test. Because of the salt build-up, people used to flood the beds just to wash out the salts. But if you use organic fertilisers, you ain't gonna run into trouble like that. So here I am collecting all the top dressing up. Quite a bit of this is broken down, but I still want this as a mulch when I have planted out, so I'm saving that as well. Luckily it is dry, it's had a couple of days to dry out. But loads of activity underneath. I've only gone down the less than ½ inch. Beautiful stuff. So that's everything collected in. So that bag's for that one. Then you will have a sprinkling, as you can see, a bone meal there, and then seaweed meal. These are all my other ingredients underneath. And this one is shredded dried goat muck. There's my seaweed, which that was dried and shredded, I think about 6 months ago or something. Busted stuff. So that bag which I've just emptied the top dressing, that's the middle bed. So I've bagged him up. That lot will have a good watering whether it's going to rain or not. So you got about 6 watering cans on it. Perfect. This is the weed suppressant from Wilco. As you can see, it's porous, so the rain will go straight through. Some of the stuff I've had before, it hasn't been porous, and you've got to have moisture in there. It's too much hassle on me taking it off and watering. So I've just got the porous fabric, which is perfect. So I bunged it back on. Next bit, that's the one we've just done there. So this is the next one opposite. Don't forget all these now, and got no roofs on. Took all the plastic sheeting roof off, clear sheeting roofs. So is the next bed to do. Exactly the same again. Take the top off. These little chaps is some type of fungi. We had this, used to have this down the plot and all, from the, I think it was a rabbit muck. I tried to Google him, find out which he is, but couldn't find him. So, with a load of activity under that one as well. Well, exactly the same again. Top dressing, heavy fertilisers, then give him a good soaking, then cover him. Just let nature get going. There's another couple of months yet before I need him. We're still getting frost, that's why these lot are in here. And then it says right, we're clear of frost. This was last week, don't forget. So I bought them outside. We ain't had a frost since, except we've got a frost forecast tonight. Thank you very much, because we've had a nice sunny day. We'll have it always, I suppose. So then we're brought out. But I've got to prepare the bed, so I've took them off. This is my last bed for me Gladys. In fact, he needs replacing the top. So I've done my middle bed. That's the greenhouse bed. And that's the shed bed that we just looked at. So that's all my top dressing to go back down when I have planted out. Normal fertilisers, good watering. Now I've got a new sheet, so I'm just copying the size of that one, replacing it. For my corners, because it's a bit flimsy, I want to strengthen it with a bit of black tape from Wilco and all. So that's double-sided, and the old punch, just bung him in. Give me 10 pegs, another bed done. Perfect. This little chap's going in the big room. That was decorated last week. Right, if you remember these spring peas I mentioned last week, 2 weeks or 2 years to germinate. Gordon Penny. Can I wait that long? I don't know. And they are solid. That's why they take so long. So I'm going to help them out. Exactly the same. There's my can of seed. There's my foil. Small foil. That's a bit hard. Obviously that's out of focus, so you can see the seed. But see what I've just helped him out slightly. And took this side off. Another trial, obviously, and the seeds are planted there, so we'll see how we go with them. While I was at it, second sowing of giant selected sweet pea, and they're growing in the propagator as well. And there's another sowing of these, so that's 2 weekly sowings of all my sweet peas. Painted lady rose pink and the dollop of them. Bit of vermiculite on top, and greenhouse temperature water. If it is cold, then I'll put a bit of hot water out of my kettle. Just go in the greenhouse. I'll never water with cold water, not this time of year anyway. Another lot done. Right, my zebra canna. Having a quick nose of them. And exactly the same again, I've filed him down. But I've learned, which we'll come on to later on, that is just to allow water to get into it. It doesn't mean to say your first shoot will come out of that hole, as we'll see later on. So I've done one of each out of them, just as another trial. Put them back in the propagator. Run out of spent coffee grounds again, so I went down to Tesco Cradleheath. Got another dollop off the benches. Took all the crap out. Open the old bags up, get rid of them, and then break all this up by hand. There's my tray, which I used to dry it out. One of the biggest trays. So once I have rubbed out all the lumps, the spent coffee will go on there. It'll be left, I don't know, a couple of hours, 5 or 6 hours, and then I'll turn it so it dries the underneath stuff as well. Right, cherry sweet dark corn. This is was in the greenhouse. I'm pretty sure this is when we were still getting the frost. I'm just showing there's a new growth on the bottom, which is coming out there. That's my grafted stock on top. That's where I want my new growth from. So any new growth down there is off the old stem, which I don't want. So I'll chop them off, don't need them. while we're in there, Paul, mate.
Yeah, you sweet peas. I've been having problems with mice digging mine up. And I was told yesterday water them with a very fine solution of jade fluid, just in
Yeah,
case you get in your greenhouse.
yeah.
'Cause he's had a few of mine, little shit.
Is that in your
I'll tell you,
tunnel?
yeah, in my tunnel, bottom of the garden.
Yeah.
Somebody's been digging them up and eating them.
Yeah, you're gonna have a mare, are you?
Yeah, so I've been
What
told,
are you planted in? Straight into the ground?
no, in some pots to start them off in the cold polythene.
Oh,
And I've been told jade fluid, they don't like the smell or the taste of it, so if you
yeah.
get any problems, just give me a
Eat
nip.
sweet peas. If you've got mice, they'll have them.
I know. I live at the bottom of the field, so I mean,
Yeah, that's your problem. Eh?
yeah.
I'm gonna say, Corey, get away and put him in the house, but you've got everything else. Yeah.
Well, me, I've got, hang on, in the dining room, about 6 bananas, 9 new canners, and 3 new dahlias going. And plus my spuds and my light box going at
See,
the moment. I've
you're
got
gonna
more to
go with
do.
that one.
I'm doing my tomatoes tomorrow. Thank
Just
you.
do a weak solution of J's, or I've
Yeah.
done that before.
I'll
In
just mention it.
things. Don't forget, years ago, I can remember my grandfather. He used to use J's fluid as a feed. A very weak solution is a feed. It's a soap
What's
base.
actually, what's actually in it?
What thing?
J fluid.
What's what?
What's actually in it?
It's soap based.
What's that basically?
Yeah.
Okay, cheers, mate.
Right. Just to the left of there, I've got a honeyberry, and he's got flowers on it. Well, buds. It's another early chap. He's gonna have a shock to the one. Right, this is a plant, one of Aaron's plants he dropped off to the house when he moved. Where he's living now. With his this new bird. He's got loads of plants, meaning he's going to be stuck with them. But he does need potting on. So obviously I'm going to pot him on. So next pot size up, I'm using that white one, which is at the bottom of the stairs, which would be ideal for this chap. So bung the pot in so you got the right size. Bit of mic under his Harris. Clover compost mixed with a bit of vermiculite. He's got a few white roots on, unlike some of his other plants, so he's still active. That'll do me. So he's put in same level, I've just pushed down all the way around the outside. I've not pushing him in at all. And then cover with compost, level off. The nickel light on the top, they give me a nice waiting outside. No wind, no rain, so I know indoors outside. Then hang him up in the greenhouse so I can get it nice and level before I take him inside the house. And he has got a tray under him, but he had finished draining before I bunged him in there. That's better. Get growing, chap. Right, gladiators, I've had a quick perv of these just to go through them. I went through them about a month and a half ago, just to see if there's any rotten ones discarded, and then counted up what I've got left. Decent gladiators. I think there was only 2 that are early spurting, but then we'll go in a raised bed very soon. On the raised bed in the middle of the garden. But I think I threw one away, which was no good, so that wasn't bad. This is last Saturday. We got some stuff from down the shed. Rushin was having a nose round the rabbit book. As you do. Right, my canners, especially the variegated leaf, this is what I like. It's the colours you get with the sun behind them. Boston. There's another variety. and where we sit, we got the sun behind them on an evening. So this is what we're looking at. And there's another nice leaf. So the flower is a bonus. Right, more corms to plant up. I think these will be my last lot. 2 bags there, right off Nigel Co, Glady Expert. So once again, 2.5 litre pots. Cut out my base to cover the holes up. I don't want rubbish anyway if I'm moving them around the greenhouse. In a setting. I think this is a new one, it's only got a number. 4, 5. So 3 pots done there. About 1.5 inch separation between them. That's another lot done. Trims, Lady Ellen is a nice yellow. That was last year. I just want a rough idea I'm going to take from planting the corms themselves. Don't forget this was a corm last year. And it was first one flowering 80 days, last one 90. So that's my medium. So I'll plant just 3 sowings. It'll be on the 80, 85 and 90. So rubbing these out as well, get the dry skins off. And also if there's any doffins, I can feel if there's any soft ones, feel it while I'm rubbing the skins off. Then that's Lady Ellen, I'll rub them out. So these are the large cormlets, not the small ones. Princess Margaret, that was from 1 corm last year. I only got 1 for some reason. Singular Beauty, love them. These were off Nigel as well. He's a good lad. Good watering outside. Let them drain. Then give them another good watering. And have 2 lots of good watering. And then them left. Inputter tonight. Nick, are you ready, sir?
Yeah.
Good man, all yours.
So nothing much really. I sort of last year I decided to take a year off any competitive veg, just due to workload and personal circumstances. So fairly quiet Christmas, no onions going or anything. So more about the eating garden really. So just some various bits and pieces in the lettuces going into the polytunnels and nasturtiums. I use nasturtiums as a bit of a shield really for pest. They tend to attract to the nasturtiums rather than get to your plants. A bit like marigolds, I tend to put these nasturtiums at the front and the rear of the polytunnel, which you'll see a bit further on. So just some general stuff going on there. Next minute. The chickens. I've had the chickens for a year now. Pretty amazing creatures, love them to bits. They haven't stopped laying all the way through the winter. I think I've had 2 or 3 chickens that didn't lay for a day. So pretty pleased with them. And they're excellent creatures for getting rid of any weeds or anything. I know there's a bird flu. I do let them out now and then, the beds, which you'll see in a minute, and they tend to make a good job of that. But yeah, love them to bits. I've only got 6, but great characters, and like I said, great for your garden, as long as you don't want them to eat all your plants. Next one, Mick. So there's inside the polytunnel. So I've got about 35 hanging baskets with between 4 and 6 strawberry plants in each. Various varieties: Flamingo, Cambridge, Florence, Marshmallow, sort of early, mid and late varieties. That was taken about a week ago, I think. So they are starting to wake up now quite a lot. These are first year runners. So that I took off the last lot of plants in the summer, put them into 7 centimetre pots. Kept them outside over winter, and they went into the polytunnel in February, and then fresh compost. And away we go. I will top dress them with a bit of horse manure a bit later on, and some potash as well. So should get a good yield. And there's also some 3-year-old plants. If you can see the third one to the right, as you see it, what I've done with them is I've kept about 4 or 5 of them and taken the crowns down. So all I've got is roughly 2 to 3 crowns per plant, rather than let the crowns keep growing, because you tend to get a lot of strawberries but very small. But no, I should get I'm hoping a couple of 100 pennants out of them, maybe.
Yeah, nice.
Yep, next one.
Is that the same amount you had last year?
No, a little bit shorter actually, Mick. I've got you see right at the end of the polytunnel, the entrance, there's probably another 20 on the table there, which you can't see. In the middle, there's another 20 plants there, with 3 or 4 more hanging baskets. So I'll probably get up to about 36 to 40 hanging baskets by so quite a lot. It's enough, but it's really good growing them in hanging baskets. You haven't got to worry about wood lice. You haven't got to worry about the fruit rotting. The only thing you've got to do, you've got to keep on top of the watering, which once you get going is on a daily basis. But first thing in the morning before work, 10-minute job, and it's done. And easy for picking as well. Fruit hangs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Real.
So self-seeding nasturtiums that's in the beds. Got 4 or 5 of them going on, although like you say, we've got a frost tonight. But no, I think they should be all right. But just leave them be, let them go. Okay. So that's a grape I bought back in. Never grown grapes before, so I put one in right on the edge of the polytunnel inside, and it can. Hopefully the roots will run underneath, outside, or wherever it wants to go. I'm not sure if it's dead or not, but looking today, there is just a little bit of life. It's just coming to life now, so hopefully that will do. That was it's quite expensive, to be fair. It was nearly 30 quid, but it was just over 2 meters high. So any grape experts can tell me, is it 1 year, 2 year? I've got a clue, but we'll grow that one.
You should get some this year.
Yeah. So that was it's a variety that I bought. I can't remember. Well, it's on there, but it's between dessert and a wine grape. It's in between, so you can eat them and also make wine from them.
Oh,
cool.
Nice.
At home, so tomato plants coming along, peppers. Had some real problems with peppers this year. Don't know what. Well, I think I do know where I went wrong. So I put going probably about 50 peppers stroke chilies, and I had some old compost from last year that was left out in the sun all year. Well, I used it to germinate them. Germinated fine, and then all of a sudden stunted growth. So I whipped them out about a week ago, put them into fresh compost, and they seem to be moving now. Maybe a bit late, but I should get a harvest by the end of the summer.
Yeah. Is that your greenhouse at home?
Yeah, that's a 14 by 8, that one.
Yeah.
Various other bits going, you see in the next.
Is that where you had your big onions last year?
Yeah, that's it. In there. Yeah, what I did there, I took the grass out, Mick.
Oh.
Put up netting. And then other bits and pieces going on, some leeks, sweet peas. You name it, it's in there. Lettuce, you name it, it's in there. Flowers, do all my own bedding. Yeah.
Good. What minimum temperature you got in the greenhouse?
10 degrees.
Yeah.
Soil temperature is at 10. Air temperature, actually, sorry, I tell a lie. So soil temperature between 10 and 12, that doesn't drop. Got a heater on frost free. I think it goes down to about 6 degrees, but it doesn't really matter too much. Like I said, other bits and pieces going on there. Peas, all sorts of general stuff, lobelia, all that sort of stuff, pansy, marigolds, beetroot, multi-sown beetroot, the 4th tray along to the right. So that will go in the 3. Well, I don't know how people grow their beetroot. I grow them multi-sown, so I put 3 or 4 seeds in one cell, grow them on, root bound outside, and just let them pull apart.
Perfect.
And then some more Joe's Long jalapenos, that sort of thing. Yeah, not impressed with the peppers and chilies this year, but I think I know where I went wrong. But anyway, and next. Cucumbers. So I'm growing a lot of cucumbers this year, more for selling, to be fair. So I've got a piece of land, about a third of an acre. I do pay a bit of money for it, but I'm quite lucky it's got electric and water, and I don't pay for that. I've got to pay rent. So what I tend to do is I grow a lot of tomatoes, a lot of cucumbers. I sell a lot of plants, and I try and recoup the money that I paid for the rent. But yeah, they're just coming through. So the cucumbers will come out very shortly, and then in will go the courgettes.
Nice. Oh, that's nice.
Horsemuck. So quite lucky. Well, when I say lucky, I didn't used to have to pay for horsemuck, so I used to pay £5 for 3 big bags, and it was a pain in the ass. So I found a place just down the road. Well, it was just down the road. It's about a 20-minute drive, and it's free. So load the van up, away I go. It's good stuff. This stuff is about 4 years old. And the person, they got obviously stables there, but I contacted this woman and said, "Can I have it?" She said, "Help yourself." She said, "If I don't get rid of it, but for free, I've got to pay somebody to take it away."
Yeah.
So yeah, it's good stuff. You can see it's like black coat, unbelievable.
Yeah. There's quite a few doing that now, free.
Yeah.
They want it out of the road.
Yeah.
Plus, you got the bonus of the straw as well.
No, I've got to leave that bit, Mick, because that's where they're. Yeah, leave that. But it's only the mature. She wants to leave the other to rot down.
Oh.
But it's good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next one.
Nice.
There's some peas going along in the polytunnel. They're growing very quick, so I should get an early crop out of them probably in about, hopefully, 5 weeks, 6 weeks time. Get them out, and then the summer crops, tend crops will go in. Next one. And there's another one up the side of the polytunnel. There's some sugar snap peas. Again, they should harvest in about 5 or 6 weeks, weather permitting, and they'll come out and the summer crops go in. Strawberries just come into life. Yeah. Next one. So that's a no-dig bed. So that's a bed I laid cardboard down back in around about December, spent compost. I dug some horse manure in over winter, and hardly a weed to be seen yet. So I'll keep that no dig. That's just purely spent compost. So cardboard, horse manure underneath, spent compost over the top. That's from the onions, Mick.
Yeah.
And just see how we go. All of my beds are no dig apart from one, which I'll show you in a minute. So these beds here, the first 3 are no dig, and the bottom one needs turning over and rotivating, which shouldn't be a problem. But I've got some dahlias in there, so I'm not going to do anything with it for a minute. I'm not sure if they survive the winter, and also asparagus. So you can see the beds how you can put your hand in about, I don't know, that high, 6-8 inches, and it's just soft.
Yeah.
Lovely. The chickens, I put the chickens out there in January, February. In January and February, it was full of weeds. There's not a weed in sight. I haven't touched that.
Nice.
The chickens have taken every weed out. Yeah. Next one. So there's another no-dig bed covered in horse manure. That's been there for a couple of months now. Lots and lots of worms in there. You can see the odd parsnip in there. Some leaf compost on the right in bags. You can't really see it, but yeah. I should grow some brassicas in there. Cabbage, broccoli, and purple spraying broccoli as well. So the onions, set them away, I don't know, 6 weeks ago, 8 weeks ago, something like that. They're fully rooted, so they'll go into the beds, into a bed, probably next weekend. I think that's it, mate.
Lovely.
Okay, Mick.
Cheers, Nick, mate.
No problem.
Anybody got any questions for him? He's a good lad. Cheers, Nick. Right, if I mention my sweet peas, I'm doing more this year because, well, majority of them are scented because that's what I want up the garden. Plus, we got them for the show. So I mentioned getting some straight 8-foot canes, you know, walloped them the same colour as the fence. And the canes are going up the end of each panel of fencing. And then this lot is going across the top. 2 metres by 5. Pretty loads of it. Right, little pegs, I started looking at them rubber doorstops. Because this is to wedge the canes. When I put them up against the post, I want to put a wedge on the other side, if that makes sense. There's a cane one side of the fence and a wedge. And I saw these, I thought, bloody hell, that's the same colour as my fence and my fence panel and my 8-foot canes. Perfect. Went to order some of them. I've run out of them colour. So thank you very much. That's a close-up. Look at them. That would have been perfect. So I had to send away for these. Only ones I got left. So they're on the way. Right, the flowers have started opening up. That was it's within 6 days. Me honeymoon. As I mentioned before, he's going to have a shot tonight. Right, greenhouse. Up the top end of here, there's 3 large Alstroemeria. These are what I had. Obviously, I took up end of last year. There's one blue one off the front of the big garden under the kitchen window. And there's 2 small ones, which I've obviously potted up. But Lynn's mate down the road, Mandy, our dog sitter when we leg it out. I retired from the school last year, and I bought us some, like a ragwort. I never put the heating on when we had them bad frosts. So I lost them, but there was only wimps anyway, so I gave my 3 big ones. And another forecast rain for the week. So I rung her up, I says, right, while it's dry, I'll come and plant them out for you. And then that was a new one, Summer Breeze. Indian Summer, that's an old one. Still a good one. And Summer Lovely, that was another new one. Obviously different colours they bring out every year. And I know it's one advertised for day, that's a blue one. The corker. Right, so I found some space. This luckily only lives down our road, same side of the road. So I dragged him down there, and there's a fuss one over there. Plant out. So bigger hole than what I want. Bit of fish bun and bone under his Harris. Planted him out. Firmed him in from the outside. Levelled him off. And they had forecast rain that night for the next 3 or 4 days. Another one I put out a bit further down. Labels there as well. I said once ready to start growing, ours will come into flower before yours. I'll just show you how best out of deadhead, i.e. putting the stems up the bottom. And that was the last one in there. So I was pleased with that. This is me and Rushan. Started sniffing. I get a shout, piddle on it, and it does. There's it. Right, our place what we use for our talks and our show is the one side. Well, there's one room the gaffer's doing into this is Cradley Town Football Club. He's doing a restaurant bit, and I thought if he knackers us up the talks, I'll find somewhere else. If he knackers up for the show, and if I do go and have a word and we start getting balling off, all he's got to do is clear off then. So just in case, I started looking around, and this is Cradley Community Centre, just down the road from us, Silly Colligate. That's the back car park. And I just thought, I know they got a bit of a green, I didn't realise it was big. But the room itself, it's free next year for the show, meaning if we are stuck. You know, we get the marquee on here, perfect. I know it's not flat, but it's flattish. Because if there's we put the tables out, if it is a bit lopsided, be a mat underneath, lift it, and whatever. So we get away with the marquee there, just in case. But just for the committee meeting we had last week, I went and saw him, had a word with him, and luckily we're still in the clear. We got away with it. There's the 2 partitions he was going to put up. He ain't put them up yet. But he had a barney about not moving the tables in the restaurant. Anyway, I'm okay now. But I've got somewhere to fall back on if need be. Right, this is me lemon. And to see the flowers once they drop off, or once the flowers open like that. There's a flower dropped off there. There's my fruit, hopefully. But because we've had our mate decorated for us, been moving this around. I should have put it in the greenhouse. There's quite a few of these dropped off. And this is one Alan bought back. I repotted him on. He does some nice flowers. And there's the other one in the other side of the bathroom. One eater, give me this. I'm going to give them a talk. I'm going to give them about 3 of these. That's the best one. It was in the living room on the fireplace. So I bought him up, and he's got a new house now. Right, looking out of our window, nice bit of colour over here. So I zoomed in on them, and they're busting. They do well every year, them two. They asked me the name on them. Anybody know the name on them? Somebody on that. These lot are still inside, meaning we've still got the frosts. But, and then it says, right, we've got a frost free for the week. So they went straight out. And my fig, and my blueberry, and my new blueberry. When you show up for barbecue hungry, but the food isn't ready, so you're just trying to play it cool. Look at him, look at his little face. I'll be like that at all. Right, my pegs come in the post. Perfect. And that's just showing you, because I'm going to wedge one of the poles, obviously, at that end. That was a perfect fit. Don't forget 8-foot canes, because we have the thick ones on your road. Not like the wimpy ones you get at Wilco and B&Q and that. So in this sense, I didn't need to wedge it. That was firm. So I had to push that up against that side to get him in. So I might use that down the bottom, or any blue swans, and that's what I'm looking for. Before I do use them, I'm going to paint them the same colour as this, so they don't stand out. And them lot will be going up here. There's 4 panels, 1, 2, 3. There's 1 down here, so 8 canes. I'm just going to wait Artie to come up the garden, either tomorrow or day after. I think it's just dry tomorrow. So I'll have a cane out ready and tell him what I'm doing. I said he scented sweet peas. We can still talk to each other through the potted. I ain't blanking you out. But just to keep them up to date, keep the peace. Right, spent coffee grounds. These are dried out, completely dry. I mean, there's no moisture, so them bags ain't gonna get sweaty. So that's 3 bags done, and I'll put my stickers on and ready for raffle prize as well. The stuff that's left, that'll be top dressing for all my raised beds back of the garden. Can use that up that way. Right, propagator now every morning. Gotta check the little chaps in there. So let's have a perv of some of these. These are my canna seed. And if we look closely, there's a close-up of him. So that's where I've scarred him, meaning the moisture's got in there, but it's spurting out from the end. You know, I want to look at all of them. If they all come out of the end, then I shall know that ready for next year. Got to file that end off just in case he is starting to come out and I'll take his head off. So it's all trial and error, but obviously he's ready. That's another one I'm putting in to replace the one I'm taking out of there. Top dressing with Miculite, a nice watering. Bunged him back in the propagator. This was during the week repair shop. He was repairing a bugle, and the missus says, "Look at his jumper, it's exactly the same as yours." Obviously, it ain't come out the same, but it is. So he does his shopping as well as Asda. That's where we got my jumper from. New wallpaper, new fire. Dog, yeah, I'm not sniffing that. They can just stay lost. Look at his little face. Don't blame him, man. Right, my standard bougainvillea. I was flogging these down Lidl last Sunday. I thought, Gordon did it. I had no sign of nothing yet from mine. I hope I lost the chap. So I snapped him and he didn't snap clean, meaning I'm hoping there's a bit of moisture in there. So I'm still feeding and watering him as I do with everything else. Right, found this bag at the back of the shed. This is another one, dried goat muck. And it is nice and dry and all. So I took that lump out there, which there he is. Snapped him in half. I thought, beautiful stuff. It's all broken down. So when I've got a bit more time, I'm going to rub all these lumps out. So I've got it in a powder or a granular form, more so, but it's better to use it as a compost ingredient or as a top dressing. So we'll job him when I get the time. Right, very soon, because I've got that lot going in the propagator now, and I ain't doing so much as last year or whatever. Cut down well on the and exhibiting fruit and veg, not fruit, but veg. The only veg I'm exhibiting this year is some carrots and peas. But I still need room because all my canners I've got to split. I've got to start doing this next week, meaning I need more room. So that lot there, because he used to be in there, so I've dragged him off. And the top, which is under here, I want to bung it back on there. So these lot are moved as well. You'll remember last year, if it goes on, when I took that shelf off that one, instead of putting it in the shed where I usually put it, I just put him on the top of this one. Easier, less hassle. I ain't lost no height. Well, only about 2 inches, but it ain't going to affect nothing. But it's there, it's dry. So I've just got to empty that lot which I did do. I just threw it outside because the sun was out. There's no wind or nothing. Now I've got to lift that one and bung him over there once I've moved my towel. There he is, perfect. So there's my wooden staging. There's plastic underneath there. All I've got to do now is go back in the shed, get me a roll of capillary matting. That was washed last year in J's fluid, spilled out with rainwater and then dried on the line, so he's ready for what he's done now. Perfect. Got me another shelf. That is level, although it looks a bit cockeye. Right, used to use him when I had my fox. Ain't got him anymore, so I'm going to use that again just in case the baddies are in there. I mean, I washed it out in boiling water anyway. With no more will be residue, so bin it. Right, these lot here, spare seeds. There's been saving everything. This is helping Trevor up at Craig's out football club. There's cracks on us. So that's lot there. And there's all these lot, which I had spare. I had some off Steve, I know, and there's quite a few of my own spare. Just quite a few out to the Zoomers and other people, but there was loads left. So that lot and that lot. What I'm going to do, in fact I went up Saturday to do it, but the gates were shut, meaning they got an away match. But as you go up his drive, there were containers here, at the back of me, metal container. And obviously that's where we had the show. But all this bank here, most of it's weed, crap. So I'm just going to walk across the top there and just sprinkle seeds everywhere. Hopefully he'll get a bit of colour. Should get some this year and next year. That's just keeping in good books with him. Lady Ellen, PM, Singular Beauty. Exactly the same again, last lot. Big ones, small ones. Them lot I put in there. These lot are the peas. Second lot of peas which I put in. Right, I've got a fruit tree in there and one there. Because of the wind, you haven't seen it. They've been in there 6-7 months or whatever. So they need straightening. So first thing I'm going to do, pull the cane out, push the cane in straight, and then press down the dry medium round the cane. I'll keep it upright. I've got a dwarf plum, which is a blue tit pixie, obviously dwarf. That's the name of him. The other one is a pear, Beth Corden. I've already got one of them. I did keep him for Aaron. I don't know whether he can bung him outside. I just have to ask him if he down. I'll take it down and bring them by. All due to mate. Right, this was during the week. Somebody put this on. He's got grapes and he's in the UK. I thought, good, Bennett. Mine's only just showing a little shoot. Must be in a warm place. Potholes ahead, remove dentures, tighten bra straps. Supposed to be doing the potholes soon, ain't they? This was last Sunday, Lidl. Bougainvillea. I was very tempted. Very. Right, my bedding plants have come. 3 lots. And this come with it as well. This is a Gardener's Dollar catalogue. Coffee bags. Tailors. Them were free. That's what I've that's what I sent away for. These are scented. I did well with the petunias last year, but obviously these are doubles and whatever. So that's what I want in the end. Tumbelina. Different chaps. and the firecracker. Right, them and all. Right, this here. So delicious, convenient, and compostable. Yeah, you see that. Put the bag in a mug, which I did. Add boiled, not boiling water. Stir and squeeze. Leave for 2-4 minutes. Another squeeze. One more squeeze for luck and enjoy. Well, I like my coffee with milk. Meaning, if I don't put milk in, it's okay to drink. After 2 or 4 minutes, and you're not putting boiling water. If I put milk in it, which I did, it will come hot enough. So I bunged in my microwave. Then I tasted it and thought, Jesus, but no time. But I'll give it a go anyway. Back to the plants. I've tried the small plants here. Pot them on. I mean, you've got to pot these on as well. But these should only take one potted off for them ready to go out. That's how I buy them now. Plus, I ain't got the room in the room. So they're going plastic drinking cups. Full size sesh tray, 15 tray insert. Using my own compost. Taking all the worms out and any big lumps that I've got down, which I've done there. So it's mine. So I'm trialing clover again, mine and clover, and then just my compost. So all I want is 6 plugs about the same size. Then we'll do clover. So there's 2 of them, then mine mixed with clover, and then my compost. So we'll see how we do with them. Good waiting outside. I'm going to have a couple of minutes waiting them again, did that 3 times. And then I'll move these onto a dry place. And it was coming out the bottom, medium. I know all the compost. One dry medium, got a good way through. Back in the 15 tray insert, and then did another lot. Now I'll come on to the other chaps, the firecrackers. I think I've done these before years ago, but the colours were so good as what they have now. Some of the plants I'm bringing out now, plus breeding and whatever, the colours on them, beautiful. We'll come on to that later on as well. So these lot were potted on upright. Did a good watering outside. Right, this is Juanita. I'll get a talk. Give me some guinea pig manure and all. These were for potting up because this is going to be perfect. Don't forget there's no strength in this manure. Exactly the same as rabbit muck or alpaca. There's no strength in it, you can use it straight away. So for drainage and for a bit of muck underneath, perfect. My canners. So paper on the bottom of pots, bit of my manure, my guinea pig mug on the bottom. Exactly the same again of clover, fistful of vermiculite in my compost as well. Right, the rhizomes. These got to be put in horizontal, and obviously the roots come out from the bottom. Some of them, you don't see the roots already. If they're in a bag, they'd be sweating by now. Meaning telling you, pop me on. I want to come back into life. So basically, start off with a pot of muck underneath, fill it with a mixed compost medium. This is only about 1 inch. You'll need 1 inch of compost on the top. But you can see the new shoot there. And there's another one just underneath there coming up. Another one ready to go out. Some won't have any shoots on. Some will. But looking at close at that one, there is a new shoot on him there. You see where the stems from last year, that's where he was cut. So just put that cut uppermost. But even if you put him upside down, that shoot will come round any road and go up. This is another one, vanilla cream, Farmer Gracie, as you can see there. So the rhizomes again, it's a shoot on him. That was another one, Rain Charlotte. So all got shoots on, spurts. So labels done, all put in horizontal. Inch of compost on top. Right, these two I've had from Ashwoods. Tell the same again, put them in level. Inch of compost on top. And wedge everything. I did get these pots out to use as well, but they ain't gonna be no good. Well, I will if I run out of everything. But them lot have had a nice wear trip. Once again, hot, cold, water, lukewarm. So that's what them lot do. And the curve in the propagator. The first lot of peas are coming through. So they will come out, go into the greenhouse up top. This is obviously the first lot of put in. Then I've got 2 gaps there to start something else on. And Cape Guzgog, I had a quick curve this morning, and this is in the giant. I've just started coming through. So either tomorrow or day after, then we'll be pricked out into individual. So daily, I'm looking at all my can of seed to see if there's any showing signs of spurting. Some people on YouTubes or whatever, they put this in water. I was a propagator. One day she's coming through. I keep it in water for about 3 days, 4 days, and then they put it on moist kitchen roll paper and just put it in somewhere warm and let it come that way. Could have tried that and all, but I'll still do it. I've still got time. And there's another chap there now and all. Let's see where they're fired in now. Best way to get them out, well, if I have a small spoon, there's a little chap. Put him back in there. I had an email from, because I've had stuff off them before, anything new that comes out, obviously you get the emails, and I saw these for Cosmere. I thought I had some good ones before, then I saw this and thought, look at him, beautiful. Nice outside colour, nice inside colour and all. So I thought, right, let's have a nose at everything else. And that's another Cosmere. I thought he's really corporate and all. Put mine to shame, mine are bland compared to these. So I thought, that's it. 20% off of 15 of them. Aquilegia, love them and all. And these put mine to shame. I thought mine were decent, but mine are bland compared to these. So I've had 6 of them and all. As you do. Women this afternoon, England rugby, brilliant, Boston game. This was took later on this afternoon. So sweet peas are coming through and the single ones. I'm just making out there. And my League C. That's coming through as well. These are pots of eating leaves ready for bringing by next month. Right. There's another thing I just sort out with Trevor up Craigley Town. He said I don't know plants in the restaurant. I says, right then, we'll get paper and I'll tape it to the tabletops. Is that adequate enough? Because we've got the bringer boy. What's the bringer boy? Bloody plants. We have the show, the bloody plants everywhere. That was if he did kick off. But we got away with it. Thank God. This was took late afternoon. Both windows open. Well, we didn't get the sun till about 2 o'clock onwards. Still a bloody cold breeze, although on top of the hill. But first time these vents have been open on the road for a while, and it was quite warm in there. In fact, this lot, I had to wear to the lot again before tonight. Because they have forecast a frost tonight. I think it's only -1, -2, but all the stuff I've put out, like these are only cormorants, but so I've just covered him in environment. When they got the protection of the wall and this, I'm taking no chance. I've just covered them, and then anything in small pots, I'll throw them back in the tunnel. Because we weren't supposed to get a frost, but they couldn't forecast my strapper. Right, talks coming up. This is Wednesday the 12th, which ain't too far away. This is in Shipton and District Gardening Club, Shipton on Stairway, Darlaston Road, postcodes Coventry. That's a talk on composting, doors open at 7 till 7:30. If anybody lives local, interested, just message me. It's and I'll give you the details and that. Next one, this come through a couple of days ago. This is for Friday 30th of June with Church Civic Centre, High Street, Shrewsbury. Doors open at 7:30 stars. £3 entry to non-members. The last talk was £3 as well, entry to non-members. This one, I'll put that photo on because that's the place where the talk is. But there ain't many parking spaces here. Parking is around the back, and that's where I'll do. But the photo looked crap, that's why I put this front one on. So that's in Shrewsbury. And that's it, boys and girls.
Cheers, mate.
Austin. Right, there's no Zoom next week. So the next Zoom is Sunday the 16th of April.